Consumer card spending went up from June to July, but still negative year on year. So unpack this for us. What's behind the latest numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as you say, Dan, I mean, our data does demonstrate the undeniable impact seasonal weather can have on consumer spending, as well as the impact of a number of events. Behind the data this month, we've got some interesting movements, both in terms of, obviously, as you say, pointing to the Euros, the impact that had on bars, pubs and clubs, with spending there up 4.9%. And as you say, when England reached the final with Spain, we saw transactions tripling on that Sunday, representing the busiest Sunday of the year. To the other extent, in terms of areas where we're seeing businesses, transactions underperforming or lower than last year. We've seen household goods continue to be down 5% as people aren't investing in the DIY and improving the outdoor or exteriors of their homes, as well as sports and equipment. And I think, again, we've seen the coming out in other results that people aren't investing in, so for example, bikes or outdoor equipment for the children because the weather hasn't been there to support it. Going forwards, we're hoping that's going to change. We have seen an increase in consumer confidence coming through. It was up 5 basis points since last month, up at 32%, which is the highest since February 22. So we are seeing people's confidence in terms of the outlook improving. This hasn't yet translated into consumer spending, but with the cutting the interest rates having an impact on mortgage rates, with hopefully some warmer weather and conclusion, as you pointed to, the Olympics, we're hoping that August is going to result in an increase in spending.
And Karen, it's a fascinating insight into the consumer as well, because one of the other things that the report highlights is this shift towards more discretionary spending. And I'm wondering if you could unpack that for me. What are the retail categories most impacted by that shift towards perhaps a more concerned, more belt-tightening consumer, if you will?
Yeah, we've seen this as a trend over the last year, really, where consumers are continuing to spend, but they're being very selective about what they're spending. The weather has had a big impact on the clothing sector, for example, and also in terms of the DIY and home improvements sector in particular. However, we have also seen increases in health and beauty, which has continued to rise month on month. This month it was up 6.4% year on year as people invest in their well-being and on investing in beauty essentials as they prepare for their summer holiday travelling.
And just finally, what does it mean for profit margins and pricing strategies? How are retailers responding to this current consumer spending environment?
We know that from our research that consumers are very cost conscious. They are driving towards promotions, own label, and loyalty is playing a big part in that. And as we see sort of 2 in 5 consumers reducing their spending because of the summer weather, the retailers are having to adapt their product ranges and promote accordingly to drive that spending patterns in their stores.